Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. This time it's the Storm Collectibles Kait Diaz from Gears of War 5, and this is a snow armor. If you haven't played the game yet, I'm just going to leave it at just snow armor. I don't want to spoil anything, but this is one of her color variations that we get in the game, and I'm kind of happy. It's a little bit different. It breaks up from what we've gotten before with the other colors, so I'm really happy to get this. And let's go over what we've got. Anyway, super cool to see a female lead character get a figure. Really excited. It's one of those things where I'm a big Gears of War fan. I don't play publicly and all that, but I'm a big fan. So I'm really hoping with Kait that we get JD and Dell and even characters like Lizzie or Carmine, because those are the kind of characters that I enjoy. That was one of the things that with NECA having a license, they really did go through everyone. So I'm really hoping that Storm Collectibles goes out and does the same. So I'm hoping this does really well. But we're going to talk about the figure. Anyway, as always, the first thing I want to do is go over the sculpt and articulation. And I know I normally breeze over the sculpt because, you know, you kind of already see what you're getting here. It's really nice. I think the face sculpt is a little soft, but if you dig a little deeper and look closely, outside of those cool rendered graphics that we get in the game, I think it really does look like her. It really is nice. It can't capture that color that she actually is, but it's close enough so that it looks well. I would have preferred her to be her actual video game color, but this is a nice color. It looks really well under some light, and even if I change my lighting, she's going to look very well regardless. And that's the kind of thing I like, that under all the colors I have, she's going to look really, really good, and I like that. Now we're going to go over articulation. Now with the other Gears of War characters, we kind of had a little bit of an issue with the muscle mass, right? So with Kait being a lot thinner, you actually get to see the what we actually could get out of this stuff. So let's go over that. The head can go, oh wait, the head can go down, and it squeezes in due to that soft plastic that Storm Collectibles uses. It goes up, down, and by looking up, you don't get much of it, and that's because her ponytail is in the way. So when we get to the other head sculpts, we're going to go back and revisit that. You can go left, you can go right, and you can tilt, which is pretty cool, and that's one of the things that I've always liked, because with crouching characters, or what you can do in Gears with crouching, it's very important. Now, with the arm, we can go up, and as we see, the shoulder pads move up with the arms, so it's not one of those issues that we're going to have a problem with. I do want to say that this is a prototype, and mine definitely has an issue with holding its left arm up. Hopefully it's not a permanent issue, or something that I can fix, so it won't be something crazy. But it seems to be only an issue when laid straight out, and I think that's because the pad is getting in the way, so let's test that out right now. It's definitely the pad and the weight of the pad, so I don't have too much to stress, right? We have a bicep swivel, which is pretty much seamless and looks great, and they gave us double joints. So she can definitely flex her guns with no problem. So that means holding a weapon for her also shouldn't be an issue, and she can cross arms. The soft plastic, she can probably go a little deeper too. So we have a great amount of articulation with Kait already, with the upper torso. And I don't know if that's what people are looking for or not, but that's what we're getting. The snow collar can be moved down a little bit, so you actually get a little bit of a better range here. So just be careful. This upper torso can move around like with most Storm stuff. You get a nice crouching. So you actually get a nice forward crunch and a nice backward swivel. So you can move backwards as well. You're going to be able to tilt side to side, right? So right now we're looking at a nice bit of range for Kait, which is pretty dope. That means hopefully we can stick to that for the lower torso, right? So that means in the lower abdomen area, we actually get a left and a right swivel as well. And it's actually really, really tight. The waist can move around a bit, so don't be scared to move yours around. The leg can go this far up. It has a double joint, but the snow boot will get in the way, so please keep that in mind. There is a thigh swivel too, as well. Flip in, flip out. Now, let's check on this crouching position, right? That's one of the most important things we want to check on. So, Kait can get into a crouching position. Let's check that toe pivot. Let's make sure it evens out. With the help of a knee pad, voila. And you guys will have to excuse me. I've stated in IG that I've had a really sore throat, but I'm trying to get this stuff done. But I also don't want to rush it, so I want to make sure I want to be as thorough as possible. It's given me the opportunity to like see things that I may have missed before, which is pretty cool. So we actually get a nice rotation for Kait, who can actually hold a really good pose and look down. We're going to check that head pose now when we get to the other stuff. You get your standard wrist joint as well, which allows you to rotate like most wrist joints do nowadays, and it uses this kind of peg. This really nice slim body for Kait looks like it's going to be a winner. It really is. You actually get a very nice ankle pivot as well. It can also go forwards and backwards, and still has a toe pivot as you saw, right? So now let's get Kait in some sort of battle stance. Let's say she was trying to defend herself. Let's say her uncle taught her some sort of martial arts. And just like trying to see what goes on or what kind of poses. Oh, let's see if she can hold, y'all. Let's do the test. And this is an uneven floor for those who don't know. So yeah, she actually can hold pretty strong too once you get it there. So we've covered the articulation part, and she actually seems to be doing pretty well. Let's even her out, get her standing straight up. All right. Let's make her look good, right? Let's roll this back up so we can get a full view of what's going on. Let's talk about her other heads and some other articulation. So, I mean, sorry, not articulation, some other accessories. Now, we have the nice cap head. And this is with her cap. This is probably most noticeable in Gears of War 4 in the beginning of 5, where she uses this cap. Ponytail it out as well. So let's swap that out. It's on a smaller peg here. And as you can see, moving backwards with this head joint, it's not going to be able to look up as well from what I'm seeing so far on that neck peg. And this looks pretty good on her as well. But looking up is still somewhat of an issue, but helping with that backwards ab crunch definitely does help. So let's remove this. Let's try again for this one. And this is your skiff head. And the skiff is one of the items that you use to ride around in Gears of War 5. And I think this actually looks really good, this head. So it can look down pretty far, but looking up is definitely going to be an issue with her. So just keep that in mind. Actually, let's keep this head on. It's pretty cool. All right. Now we're going to talk about the other accessories. So she comes with her Lancer. I believe this is the Mark II. Comes with some nice bloody blood and rust on it. It's pretty nice. Standard stuff for your gears, especially if you're a cog, to have a Lancer. So let's keep that there. We get a Nasher shotgun. Pretty cool. Nice, neat, easy. It is weathered like standard Gears of War stuff, just like the Lancer as well too. You also get a Talon pistol. Now, I was wondering if hers was magnetized as well, but the Talon is not magnetized. So let's try Marcus's snub pistol, right? Let's see if it's magnetized. And it is not. So Kait is not magnetized like Marcus. So that's the one drawback we're getting so far. Seems like Marcus is the only one that is magnetized. But pretty sure somebody's gonna mod theirs, right? Just keep that in mind. So the Talon is not magnetized. It's only the snub pistol, and it's only on Marcus. This one is weathered in a slightly different color. And as you can see here, this has a different sort of color to mine. But the Talon itself in the game also had a slightly different color as well. So I think that's pretty accurate. As far as hands go, we're going to get our open palm hands. These are laid out flat open palms. We get our trigger hands, both left and right. We get our two-handed weaponry hands. So when you're holding your firearm in your other hand, this is what you get for either side. So you can be ambidextrous, just like in the game. You do get Kait's medallion that was given down by her mother and her grandmother. This is passed down. You can actually unfold it a little, so that way she can wear it as well too. Or you can leave it in its semi-wrap position. And when you do that and you leave it in that semi-wrap position, you actually have a hand that can hold that. There's a standard hand. And you can do that for either hand. They give you two of those as well. Now that we've covered all of that though, we can jump into the size comparisons, see what she looks like next to some stuff. And I have some good news. Thanks to Miggs Bomber over on IG, who sold me some of his old NECA ones a while back. I can actually use them in a size comparison so we can see what's going down. So here's Kait sized up, and this is her next to Marcus. Right? And this is her next to your main boy, Coltrane. Woo! Your boy Cole. So, she is actually smaller than him. She's a pretty good size. You can see frame-wise she's smaller, but if you can't, what I'm going to do is gently just move this over, try to center it. And as you can see, size-wise, she is much smaller in both frame and height. Not by a lot, but just enough to show it significantly, right? So let's close. Ooh, didn't tighten that enough. Sorry about that. So what I am going to do, though, because I know you guys want to see it, I didn't show in the last video. Here we have them with some old, some locusts, not swarm, but locusts from NECA. That's what you can see what they look like next to them. And they do size up pretty well, so they'll probably make for good photos. I'm going to move Marcus over slightly so we can get another locust in there. Size-wise, let's move you over, young gentleman. And I haven't heated up all those joints, but as you can see here, NECA uses these old school joints. They haven't been really updated, but in photos, I think they'll work pretty well. Now we have something to compare it to size-wise, right? Just in case you wanted to see what they look like with Coltrane. It's a little bonus stuff for everybody, including myself, right? So now let's take these guys out. By the way, most of the old weapons actually do work with these guys as well too, so keep that in mind. Now we're going to compare with some other lines. So real quick, here is Balam from Mythic Legions, right? Here's also a Storm Collectibles Sector next to Kait. He sized it up pretty well. Like, he's okay. The Storm stuff pretty much is all over the place because each scale is their own thing, which is fine for your variant lines. But for those of you who want to see what Mortal Kombat versus Gears look like, that's what it looks like, guys. Next up, we're going to compare to a NECA Predator. And the reason why that is, just in case you want to do some of those cool crossovers, these guys would actually work. And a NECA Alien. This is an Alien versus Predator Alien. It's crouched down a bit, but if you stand him up, he's obviously going to be bigger than both of these guys. So these guys would definitely work as a swarm-like enemy as well. All right. Then we have the smaller guys in terms of scale. We have stuff like your main man Kuga, who is tiny compared to Kait, and in reality, it's probably me next to everyone. We have a Lightning Collection Red Ranger. We have an Articulated Icons Ninja. So these are the guys who are going to be much smaller and cannot really scale well with her. Then we're going to have a 1000 Toy Synthetic Human. Right? Take all these guys away. Next up, we have a Mezco. This one is on a Gomez body. But if you aren't using Gomez, you just want to have another Mezco type. Here is Moon Knight. He has a custom cape. Yeah, so there we go. Voila. I think I've covered most sizes and everything that I can possibly think of. I've actually really enjoyed this, and I actually like taking the Gears of War photos. Let me get a little creative. And I'm hoping that we get JD and Dell so I can finish off my Gears 5 team, especially if we get more color variants. I like the different skins I get in the game. But most of all, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you found it informative. And as always, guys, be good, do good, drink your water. Later.